Zenobia had really turned, the war could soon be over. She could send orders to the fleet that would leave their defenses wide open. The rebels could sail right in and capture the Emperor. Victory, with not too many casualties.
Or
they caught their breath under a ruined arch. It's beautiful, she said. This was the library of Ubar, he said. Your father's ravens thought they had an ancient book. She nodded. Was she crying? This was exactly what I wanted, Reynardo thought. To turn her to our cause. So, why do I feel something is terribly wrong? Because nothing ever goes this smoothly, is why.
yeah, we can't go that way. Can't go through the library of Ubar.
This would be the perfect place for a tic-tac-toe board.
I agree. Tic-tac-toe. Yay. Well, thanks for blocking my view for a moment there, platform. Why can't I destroy certain pots? Whatever. Magical
This chest contained blank
clay.
passports from 15 countries. And something useful.
Yay. Style good.
These things could really use a hand.
Oh, I did go through the library of Ubar. This is just like a way around.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Ow. Ice door. Ah. Ice door.
I wonder what happens if I go that way.
You get a chest. And a bunch of pots to smash. That seemed to almost never have anything in it. None of them had anything in it. So that was kind of fruitless besides getting a level 3 gem.
The council toads swarmed around Zenobia, shocked she was there, shocked she had changed sides. Then the walls exploded. He heard toads croaking, "Oh, the ravens!" Blackbirds were pouring through holes everywhere. "It's a trap!" cried the council speaker. In the confusion, he saw flashes of magic. Then Zenobia being hustled off by Imperial troops. So, she had betrayed him after all. Reynardo ran for his ship. The Farfarer flew into the clouds, barely losing the Imperial ravens pursuing him. The rebellion was lost, and he had lost it. There was nothing to do but find Zenobia and make her pay for her treachery. His heart ached. He still loved her. But he had trusted her, and he had been a fool. She would be back at the fleet, gloating with her mad, bloodthirsty father. For all Reynardo knew, she was helping him bring back the old lost gods back from their exile.
So either she's really pissed off if I don't believe her, or she ends up killing the rebels anyway. She's actually playing me. It's a fun time for Reynardo.
Reynardo landed in the middle of the Imperial fleet. The rebels were losing badly. Without leadership, it was a slaughter. Reynardo felt strangely free, trying not to think about how he had lost the war, trying not to think about how he had loved Zenobia, blinded himself to her treachery. That's what it meant to be a hero. To keep on fighting after the most bitter of betrayals. To never know if you could trust anyone. Cats. What a waste of fur.
Did that qualify as being a little bit prejudiced? I would think it does. And again, he is a canine.
What had happened to Lupino? Had the mad rabbit fled to safety? Or was he forlornly carrying on like the few rebels Reynardo could see here or there? Ugh, it didn't matter anymore. All there was slash and spin, parry and lunge, over and over as he fought his way across the fleet. All there was finding the girl he'd once loved, who had used his love against him and putting as big a hole in her heart as she'd left in his.
Hey. Fudge.
Boom.
Boom, headshot. Come on, let's go. More fighting. You're not gonna buff anybody today, mister. Hey, I'm trying to counter, but you're not letting me.
Imagine if you built a house in one of these things. Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
Would it? I mean, they are already ships, so I guess you're right. Make it a houseboat. Kick him in the groin. And there.
suddenly Zenobia was there, advancing on Lupino. So the Mad Rabbit had survived. "Save me, or I'm done for!" screamed Lupino. Zenobia turned, showing her teeth in a smile. "You're alive!" Reynardo ran towards the witch. "Lupino's the one who betrayed you!" she shouted. "He warned my father!" Reynardo sank his sword into the witch before she could fool him again. She stared at him, heartbroken. "No! Lupino's the traitor!" Then he felt a knife in his back. "I'm afraid she's right," said the Mad Rabbit. "Ain't I a stinker?"
Bugs Bunny references.
The sun went out. He should go back to some of the choices he'd faced before. Maybe there were new paths that had opened up, like those doors he was opening up all over the map that took him to new treasures and around his enemies. But he'd learned another true thing. Lupino was a traitor. Reynardo had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit, but now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Alright, so we learned the final truth. We got story number 4, the endless moment. What kind of hero are you? A hero who keeps on fighting even after the most bitter of betrayals. Plus 20 ore. We got 2 levels since we got Lupino as a traitor. Got 4 out of 4 truths unlocked. So now, if I'm correct, we would be able to actually do the final route for the Let's Play. The truth route. Yay. I just gotta figure out how to do that again. I don't know if it's saved here or not. But yeah, the final route.
The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. Faster than before? And he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
You see that key icon. That key icon tells you it's a key event that would lead you to the truth ending. Essentially, what's the definitive ending. So, now we're on the truth path.
Reynardo finally realized that Lupino was a traitor to the cause, and maybe Reynardo could use that somehow.
So we either go the old route or we go the truth route.
Reynardo couldn't quite put his paw on when he'd realized Lupino was working for the Empire. He'd never exactly seen Lupino sending coded messages to the palace, but he was sure. The rabbit had been on too many disastrous missions where he was the only survivor, or where he accidentally missed getting on the boat that went down to the abyss in flames. If Reynardo could prevent Lupino from getting back to the fleet with all the intelligence he'd probably gathered, it might be worth the trip.
And yep. So, first part of the truth. Take advantage of Lupino being a traitor. Strategery. After, 5 times now Reynardo's died? Well, he's died more than that, because there's a couple choices that have ended up immediately killing him, but I'm talking about overall, with the bad results.
They'd been on so many adventures together. Lupino had talked Reynardo out of prison at least 4 times. and Reynardo had rescued Lupino from at least 2 lynch mobs.
Oh, again, I could confront the traitor.
Can you guys actually tell each other apart? Because I'm thinking name tags. But he'd always felt that the rabbit resented him. Lupino was hilarious because he was so down on himself and everyone else. But behind the laughs, he wasn't a happy camper. Ooh, was this payback? Or did the Empire have his little white tail in a vice?
Hey, did I just run past the well? Yeah, is the well a shortcut? Was that door there before? Yeah, we're gonna jump down the well. I don't know how I got hit when I was countering, but whatever.
Portals made him a little nervous, like a slide whose other end you couldn't see. Ravens were landing everywhere from dropships. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, the rabbit would give the Empire all the intelligence he'd been stealing from the rebellion, and they'd probably give him a medal. He'd have to be very careful about how he played Lupino. At the slightest hint of danger, the mad rabbit would take off like a rabbit.
Mad rabbits.
Every day he was getting better and better. Bloody and exhausted, Reynardo finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing shuffling his favorite deck. Now that he knew what the rabbit was, there were a few things about him that Reynardo didn't find so amusing anymore. You sent me an urgent message saying that you're in danger. Oh, I am. The ravens are coming. Now, I've got a clever plan to kidnap Zenobia. Reynardo wanted to clap shackles on the rabbit and shout, "You're a traitor, and I'm not falling for it." But if there was one thing Reynardo was sure of, it was that the core of the Sky Ripper was dangerous mostly to its user. If he could put it in the Emperor's hands, old Isengrim III might blow himself and his fleet up with it. Yes, that was it.
So we could either denounce the traitor or send the traitor to fetch the core. I have a feeling denouncing would immediately kill Reynardo. So let's go to the core.
Like a real hero, brave and smart. He told the rabbit all about the Sky Ripper's God's Eye core. "I'll go get the core while you attack Zenobia," he told the rabbit. "Wait, I've an even better idea. I'll get the core and you attack Zenobia," said the rabbit. "Right, yeah, that is better," agreed Reynardo. Perfect. The traitor would make sure the Emperor got the core. Now Reynardo just needed the Emperor to use the core. If he could only get something that the Emperor wanted very badly. Zenobia. He could save her and bait the Emperor at the same time.
We're baiting. There was no key there, so I don't think it's going to be that easy. This is at least attempted at the final route.
All
So.
the man had to do was fight his way through Zenobia's invading troops, sneak onto her ship and into her bedroom, and kidnap her without any of her dozens of guards alerting her. Then he would rely on her love for him to convince her how evil her father was, so she'd run away with him instead of going back to her father, who was going to blow himself up. It did sound a little...
Not a little. This sounds goddamn ridiculous.
Feeling it would work out somehow. It always did.
It's just goddamn ridiculous. Convince Zenobia to switch sides. I will do that.